to another incredible episode of Black Girl Healing Session, where we focus on everything that has to do with healing our mind, body, and soul. So if you're interested in today's topic, please stay tuned. Today's topic is shadow work. We're basically going to talk about what does it mean to do shadow work, how do you practice shadow work, and how do I find my shadow self. So if you're interested in today's topic, stay tuned because it's going to be powerful. And I know a lot of us don't even know what shadow work is, but we all need to practice it in some way. So before we get started completely, I want to let you know you can listen to us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Breaker, Radio Public, Anchor, and always, every Wednesday on my YouTube channel, Life with Shaun. All right, so what does it mean to do shadow work? Well, basically, shadow work involves getting in touch with parts of yourself that you have repressed, or what many might refer to as their dark side, is basically what shadow work is. And this involves diving into your unconscious material that shapes our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So basically, you really going within to really understand who your true self is. So when you do shadow work, you're digging deep within your soul to find that person, your true self. So I have been practicing a little bit of shadow work because I'm at a point in my life. I'm on this journey of discovering who I am as a person, discovering my higher self, and also healing from traumatic childhood traumas that have been so buried within myself and that has caused so many issues in my adulthood that it is time for me to heal. So when you do shadow work, this is a part of healing your inner child, healing from your traumas. So how do you actually practice shadow work? Basically, you get you a journal, get you a notebook, whatever. And some simple ways to begin shadow work is really reviewing your childhood. Basically sitting down and asking yourself, talking to your inner child and really healing that inner child. So there's journal prompts and everything that you could do to help you, get to talk to that inner child within, So that's the first step that you start with shadow work. Then you actually become aware of your shadow, that your true self. Most of us are not aware of our true self. That we're not aware of who we are. So in this moment of doing shadow work, you discover who you are. And basically you don't be ashamed of the shadow or your true self. Once you become aware of your shadow self, never be ashamed, never blame yourself for anything, because you're discovering who you are. And then you use all those triggers from past traumas to help you move forward and persevere through all of those traumas and mistakes that you have made in the past, and you heal and you grow from it. And this whole process is a point where you're just observing who you are. You don't judge who you are. You don't judge all the past mistakes. You are coming to an understanding with yourself, and you accept yourself for who you are. So that's basically ways to practice shadow work. So you basically take time out of your day. Just set aside 10 minutes to do some shadow work. You could do it in the morning. You can do it before you go to bed. Just find you a quiet place and start to do some journaling so you can get all of that out and learn to accept who you are. Of course, it's like a form of spirituality or just really a form of just getting to the bottom of who you are as a person, and accepting yourself, flaws and all. How do you find your shadow self? You basically look at each positive quality that you have wrote down about yourself, and you just picture a person who embodies the opposite. So picture a person who embodies the negative qualities vividly in your mind, and that is your shadow, right? And so once you take a look at or envision the negative qualities that you have, you're able to recognize them, and you're able to heal that wounded individual within yourself. And then you're able to accept your shadow self. Like I've been saying the whole time, this is the whole point of accepting yourself as you are, so that you can elevate and be better, What are some benefits of shadow work that you will gain? A few benefits, I say. You will gain more confidence, and your self-esteem will rise. You will improve your creativity. You will build better relationships with others because you have built a better relationship with yourself. You will practice self-acceptance. You will accept yourself, flaws and all, and you will not be afraid to be who you are, and you won't care what nobody thinks of you. You will discover some hidden talents that you didn't even know you had, because you stopped letting fear control you because you're afraid of what others think of you. You will improve your overall wellness. You'll increase your compassion towards others, and you'll have better clarity on your life, better clarity of who you are in general. So practicing shadow work is so beneficial to your well-being in general, to your mental health, to all of that, to you being an overall better person. So, of course, we all need to practice shadow work in some form or fashion. Like, we just have to get to know who we are. And I know during these times, during like the social media era, it's hard to find out who you are as a person, because you're so, I don't know how to say it. You're so wrapped up into what other people is doing in their lives that you don't take the moment or take the time to actually figure out who you are. Because we're all human. We compare ourselves to others all the time. I'm not exempt from that. I do it too. Not as much as I used to, but of course we naturally compare ourselves to other people. But you won't have to do that if you know who you are, and you accept who you are, and know your limits, and know what you are capable of doing. Then you don't have to worry about what the next person's doing, So I want you, I always tell you, every topic on Black Girl Healing Session, I always tell you that you need to have a journal with your favorite pen, and you write these topics and you actually do them. Because if you don't, it's like you're listening to this for nothing. Because the whole point of it is for you to love yourself, for you to heal, and for you to just be a better person. That is my mission. That is my goal, to really inspire others to be their best self. Because that is what I want to be. I want to be my best self, and I want to be a light that other people can see and gain like some inspiration from. That is what I want for myself. So I'm hoping that I am inspiring each and every person every Wednesday with my podcast, because that's my whole mission, was to really inspire others to be better and really focus on their mental health and focus on taking care of themselves and loving themselves, you know. But I'm going to give you a journal prompt, a shadow work prompt for healing the inner child, because that is going to be one of my topics coming up very soon. Because I am definitely on the journey of healing my inner child, because it is very important to heal that inner child within, because most of the time we're operating in that emotion from our wounded inner child. We're just like, sometimes I've heard this before, our emotions are like at the age that we were hurt. And if you don't heal that inner child emotionally, you're that same age. So if you were hurt at 3 years old, emotionally, your emotions is still stuck at 3 years old. You have not grown, because you have to heal that inner child. That inner child is within you and it's stuck at that emotional age. So you have to heal it. So the first prompt that I'm going to give you to help you heal your inner child, hope you got your pen and your paper, because here it is. I want you to write a letter to your child self, apologizing for how you weren't there when they needed you. Give your inner child the loving reassurance and understanding you feel you really needed back then. This is a writing topic that I'm going to have to do, because I know my emotions are stuck at a tender age of maybe like 5 years old. That's as far as I can remember, honestly. So this is something that I need to do for myself. But if you would like me to repeat it again, I'm going to repeat it one more time. Or you can rewind it back and hear it. But I'm going to repeat it one more time. Write a letter to your child self, apologizing for how you weren't there when they needed you. Give your inner child the loving reassurance and understanding you feel you really needed back then. Now, I hope that this episode has spoken to someone's soul, mind, so that you are able to learn how to shadow work, actually start practicing doing shadow work every week or every day, or however you want to do it. Preferably every day would be nice for all of us to just take a moment to ourselves and just start writing in our journal. Men and women. This is not dedicated to just one gender. This is to anybody that needs to heal their inner child. And men can do journals too. I feel like men need to learn how to be able to express their emotions and not be ashamed of expressing their emotions, because we're human. We all are emotional. We all go through things. So it's okay for everyone to express their emotions or how they're feeling, you know? So I want y'all to have your designated journal. I'm not going to stress it again. Have you a designated journal and start shadow working. And I'm telling you, you will feel a lot better with actually just dealing with yourself. All right, so I'm just going to wrap this up. I thank you for listening to Black Girl Healing Session and, of course, Unapologetically Shaun. And again, you can listen to us on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Breaker, Radio Public, Anchor, and always on my YouTube channel, Life with Shaun, every Wednesday. All right, you all have a great week and a great day. Bye.